G'day, I'm Mark from Self-Sufficient Me, and I never thought I'd say this, but I'm happy to report that the shelves are completely bare in our local area. Not the supermarket shelves, well, they are too, especially if you want dunny paper, but I'm talking about the nursery shelves, especially the vegetables. So why am I excited about vegetable seedlings getting raided from the nursery shelves? Let's get into it. They are completely, well, not completely gone. There are some that people have cleverly noticed are not in season or are going out of season, and they're choosing the vegetables that are coming into season.
Even the chilies are starting to go. Not really the season for planting chilies though.
But they're stripping the nursery shelves, and I think this is a fantastic sign. I'm not sure if we can take many positives out of this CV apocalyptic nightmare that's going on at the moment. But one thing I can see as a positive that I really didn't forecast is the fact that I think more people will start getting back into basics, back into growing their own food at home. Maybe not in a huge garden like this, but in a smaller backyard, like the small Italian backyard where it's not very big, but they grow a big amount of produce. I've seen this overseas. When you visit European countries like Italy and those types of places, they do grow their tomatoes, their basil, lots of veggies, mini carrots in containers or in small little courtyards or indeed small little backyards. But they grow plenty for their big Italian families and their feasts, and this food is just phenomenal. And they also sell this stuff at local markets. And I think that type of lifestyle is fantastic. And I'd like the most of the West to get back into that if they can. I'm not saying there's no place for supermarkets in the world. There is, of course. And there's going to be people that just simply cannot grow their own food. But those of us that can grow our own food can take the pressure, especially at times like this, off the supermarket chains, although they probably would still want to make big profits. I'm not letting them off the hook. I'm not a supermarket lovey here. I'm not a big corporation lovey either. But I am saying that at times like these, the more people that are doing their own growing in their own backyard can be helping out our society as a whole by not lining up at the supermarket, especially for those smaller things. Like, why would you go to the supermarket to get some basil or to get a few herbs to flavour a dish? Plenty of people do. They go and they buy a bunch of herbs that have been cut off and hydroponically grown when they can be growing those things in their own backyard. In fact, my sister-in-law just set up her own little container herb garden along a walkway at the back of her place. It's out of the way, but there's enough room there for plenty of herbs that just so that they can flavour rice dishes, pasta and those type of things without having to spend $3 to $5 going to the shops to buy it. But for those of us who do want to upscale it more and do have the space, well, this is just great to get into. And I've said many times before, it's not just about cost saving, it's not just about the health benefits of gardening, it's not just about the stress relief that gardening gives people. It's something transformative and amazing to me for sure, but I've heard this from you guys, many of you, about what a difference gardening has made to your life, just simply by getting away from the stress. You might be working in the city, or you might have a stressful job, or you might be working from home and had enough of the home office. You walk out into the backyard, you start potting around in the garden. I personally prefer food gardens, but could be something else. I'm not saying that it has to be completely food, but I deal with food. And once I start getting into the garden and pottering around, I can really feel my whole demeanour and whole mindset change, and the calmative effect. It's incredible. You just have to try it if you haven't done it before, and you'll see what I mean. But all that aside, let's talk about the now. And at the moment, you know that the world is seemingly going down the tubes real fast. And what is everyone wanting to do? They want to go back to basics. They want to get their staples, the things that they maybe can't produce at home, although I've got some ideas for toilet paper. See that cardamom leaf behind me there? It's got a wonderful scent, and I think would be quite nicely cut up into little pieces and stuck in a toilet recess somewhere. Maybe I'm getting too deep. Let's maybe pull back from that subject and wipe that away. Wipe that out of your memory. Don't even think about wipe at all, okay? Maybe that might be a little bit too slippery. Okay, out, stop, no more toilet paper talk, okay? Don't start carrying on in the comment section either. The YouTube gods might come down on me if you get too funny in the comment section down there. Go for it. But yeah, what I was saying, I want to encourage people to do it because I've felt so many benefits from food gardening. And one of the trade-offs is when the world goes a little crazy like it is now, you don't have to venture out into the shopping precincts to get food. You can load up on some of the staples that you might need and then simply live out of your backyard, especially for, like I said, those smaller little things, those salad-like crops, spring onions, spinach, and of course if you've got some mature fruit trees, you've got citrus that can flavour your food or make drinks out of. And people are probably correct. One of the fastest ways to start getting some of those staple crops into you or into your garden is by seedlings. I mean, you can sow seed, but they take, an extra 8 to 10, sometimes 12 to 20 days for them to start emerging. If you want to get a head start on that, buying seedlings from the nursery is a much faster way to do it. And I'd encourage people who are just starting off in gardening to do that. And plenty of people obviously are. This is going to change habits for many of us out there. Change habits of people who never really considered it, who never, maybe you watched my videos and thought, yeah, that's nice, maybe that's entertaining, but it's not for me. I'll just keep getting my vegetables because there's an easy supply. It's not just about access either. There's still plenty of vegetables left on the supermarket shelves. What I'm saying is, if you do need to social distance and you don't want to go into the hustle and bustle as much, maybe older people, if they have a small herb garden and salad garden and just grow some of the basics, flavour a bit of food and a side dish of vegetables or salad on a plate for their evening meal or their lunch on a sandwich, that can help a great deal because they're not having to venture out for those types of foods that go off fairly quickly, need to be refreshed regularly. They can be just plucking them straight out of the garden and you can't get fresher than that. I don't mind having to buy things at all. Some people think that because I'm into self-sufficiency, that means being extra frugal, not buying anything and doing everything yourself. That's part of it, of course, but I still don't mind buying things from the local economy. I think it helps the local economy out. I'm not about exclusionism. I'm not about going my own way. I'm about still being part of society, but just making it a little bit easier on myself and reaping the benefits of growing food for myself and my family. And when you have an established garden and you've got some chickens and you're creating your own food, that's true, you don't need to buy as much. Yeah, it's great to be able to grow everything yourself from scratch. But if you're just starting off, like I said, you're better off getting some seedlings and learning about growing, and then you can start propagating from seed after that. And this is something I want to explore more in the next coming weeks because of the climate we're in. How to fast track your veggie garden, what to grow, building garden beds, so that you can be more informed about what I'm doing and about what you can do to get stuck into food gardening and get through this current crisis. So go ahead, go and raid those shelves, not the supermarket shelves or the toilet paper. Go and raid the seedling shelves at the local nurseries. Make them restock. Help businesses out, but also help yourself out and change those habits and get into growing. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye for now. Stay safe out there. Remember, I kept back, was it 1.5 meters?